The world claims to stand for justice. It speaks of human rights, of laws meant to protect the innocent. Leaders gather in grand halls, delivering speeches about international law, the sanctity of human life, and the duty to defend the defenseless. They invoke the Geneva Conventions, the Rome Statute, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. They promise accountability, insisting that war criminals will face justice. They claim that the deliberate targeting of civilians is illegal, that no child should live in fear. Yet in Gaza, these words carry no weight. Here, war crimes unfold in real time, documented, broadcasted, and ignored. Here, international law is not a shield, but a distant echo. Here, justice is an illusion. Nana does not know these laws. She does not know that the Fourth Geneva Convention forbids the collective punishment of civilians. She does not know that the Rome Statute classifies the deliberate targeting of homes, schools, and hospitals as war crimes. She does not know that the United Nations has called, again and again, for an end to the siege of Gaza. But she does know what it means to be afraid. She used to wake up to the sound of birds. Now she wakes to the hum of drones. Nana is 7 years old. She lives in Gaza, a place where childhoods end too soon. A place where war is not a distant concept, but a presence that looms over every moment. She walks through the streets with her father, past the crumbled remains of what was once their neighborhood. Every step is careful. Every turn reveals a scene more familiar than it should be. Buildings turn to dust. The remnants of daily life, clothes, shoes, broken toys, buried beneath the rubble. She does not run. She does not skip. She watches, she listens. In Gaza, even children have learned that danger does not announce itself. It arrives suddenly in the form of missiles, in the collapse of walls, in the silence that follows an explosion. School is different now. The building stands, but it is broken. The windows are shattered, the walls are cracked. The blackboard is chipped, the desks are missing. There are no books, only scraps of paper, pencils passed from one child to another. The teacher stands at the front, her voice steady, her eyes tired. The lesson is interrupted by the distant rumble of an airstrike. Heads turn, but no one speaks. They have learned to wait. Nana clutches her pencil, drawing in the corner of her notebook. She used to draw houses with red rooftops, trees with green leaves, the sea stretching out toward the horizon. Now she draws the things she sees. Buildings missing entire walls, a street filled with smoke, a mother carrying her child, running, always running. Outside, the other children play. They run between the ruins, their laughter brief, uncertain. Every game ends the same way, someone looking up at the sky, listening. A moment later, the game is over. They scatter, running back inside. At home, there is no dinner table, no chairs, no warm food waiting on the stove, just a small gas burner, a few pieces of bread, and a father who pretends this is enough. "We are lucky," he says. But Nana knows better. She watches him as he stares at the radio, listening to news that never changes. Another airstrike, another family lost, another promise from the world that things will get better. Night falls, but sleep does not come easily. Gaza does not rest. Bombs do not wait for morning. Drones do not sleep. Nana lies awake, counting the seconds between each explosion. She listens to her father whispering prayers, his voice shaking. She closes her eyes and pictures a different life. A life where she is not afraid. A life where she can run outside without looking up. A life where the world does not abandon her. But that is not this life. The world claims to have laws against this. Laws that should protect children like Nana. Laws that should hold those responsible accountable. But laws mean nothing without enforcement. The Geneva Conventions explicitly prohibit collective punishment, yet Gaza remains under siege, deprived of food, water, and medical aid. The Rome Statute of the International Criminal Court defines the targeting of civilians, hospitals, and schools as war crimes. Yet homes are bombed, schools reduced to rubble, hospitals turned into mass graves. The Convention on the Rights of the Child, ratified by nearly every nation, guarantees children the right to safety, health, and education. Rights that Nana and thousands like her are systematically denied. And who makes this possible? The United States funds Israel's war machine, sending billions in military aid while blocking efforts to hold it accountable. Israel, emboldened by this support, continues its attacks without fear of consequence. Together, They have created a reality where children like Nana live in constant terror, where their futures are stolen, where their suffering is dismissed as collateral damage. But silence is complicity. The world must act. Not with empty words, not with delayed resolutions, but with real consequences. Arms shipments must stop. War criminals must be prosecuted. The siege must end. If international law is to mean anything, it must be enforced. Nana's life should not be defined by fear. Her childhood should not be stolen in the name of politics. Justice is not a speech. It is not a resolution. It is not a promise. Justice is action. And until the world acts, it will continue to fail Nana and every child like her. The question is not whether the world sees what is happening in Gaza. The question is whether it will do anything to stop it. The world moves on, but Nana's story is not unique. Across Gaza, across war-torn streets and forgotten corners of the world, millions wake up to the same nightmare: hunger, fear, loss. They are not numbers. They are not statistics. They are people. Some will say justice takes time. Some will say the world is watching. But watching is not enough. The question isn't whether war crimes are happening. The question is, will anyone stop them? Will anyone answer for the children who have no voice in the halls of power? Nana's story is one of survival. But what about those who do not survive? What about the ones who vanish under the rubble, their names lost before the world even hears them? What about the father who can no longer carry his child, the mother who buries another empty cradle? What happens when the world forgets? Tomorrow we tell the story of another name, another life, another child caught in the crossfire, because Nana is not alone, and neither are they. Somewhere in Gaza, in the ruins of a city that once lived, a little girl walks beside her father, trying to understand a world that no longer makes sense. Her name is Nana.